Hey there! So today we have another review, and this is a beer from Anchor. This is their Merry Christmas, Happy New Year Holiday Ale, or our Special Ale, whatever it's called. It's 2021 version. It is 7% our Special Ale with natural flavors, and couldn't get much information on it. I mean, I think it's brewed with spices. They may or may not change it year to year. Went on the website, but they only have the 2020 version on the website. So you have to look up an article to find out a little bit of information about the beer. I don't know where they got their information. So that's great. Go Anchor. Putting out a beer, it's out, and the website's not even updated for the full year. And some random website has like more information about the beer than your website. Cool stuff. And also hate the brewery because they produce a specific beer called Anchor Steam. And that beer most recently tricked me as being a best bitter. So again, absolutely extinct style that no breweries pretty much make. Nobody drinks outside of Anchor Steam, and it's fine. If you want to drink Anchor Steam, it's a great beer, and drink Anchor Steam. Why do I have to study for BJCP and advanced testosterone? I don't know. And so, anyway, that's your rant for the day. Studying all this stuff just sort of makes you think, why do I have to study California Common? I don't know. I mean, there's other styles, but still, it's one of those. So you see this side of Darwin sometimes. Wow, okay. So this is not what I expected for the holiday ale. It's very dark. It honestly looks like an imperial stout, right? Not even porter, yeah. That is full dark. Very dark, wow. Very, very dark. Pretty much looks like that Black Ops I just absolutely hated. And it's actually very much prettier because it has a really nice kind of moussey head to it. Wonderful lasting carbonation. Pitch black color. Very nice. Warming spices. I definitely get like the Christmassy thing immediately. There's ginger. Cinnamon, allspice. It's all those kind of familiar characteristics, and thankfully I have a good pantry over there, and maybe should grab some of those spices. But if you're familiar with those enough with Thanksgiving and Christmas cooking, you'll get nicely familiar with it. And it's not super cinnamony heavy because cinnamon to me is like more pumpkin. Here's winter spice, so I get just ginger allspice, yeah. And despite the color of it being that dark, I really don't get that much kind of like intense, kind of like charry kind of malt character. So it's really nice, pretty nose. It's really like almost like orange zest in there or something, like some levity. Wow, really nice. Oh, that's just a nice beer. Cool. See, I can complain, blah, blah, talk about like, Anchor Steam and complain about studying and all this nonsense and Anchor Steam, but that's just a good beer. It has a really pretty nose, but the flavor is actually quite nice. It doesn't have this. The beer doesn't taste like what it smells or looks like, which is so fun. It looks dark. It looks like an imperial stout, or at least like a regular stout. That really nice tan head on there, a lasting head. It smells like a spice beer. It's almost like a pumpkin pie or something that's gonna like blast you in the face, but on the palate. It's a really drinkable 7%. Man, full blind, this would be hard. What is the beer? Like, what did they do to make this beer? Like, what recipe is that? Like, what is underneath the spices? It'd be like, it's so dark though, but it's almost like an American porter at 7%, or that'd be one of my best analogies. A 7%, not too hoppy American porter with spices added. Yeah, there you go. That's how I get the color. That's how I get this really nice kind of like burnt note on the palate. up front. There's something citrusy. It's almost like orange zest or ginger, nice and fruity. There's a middle of, now I'm getting the roast. There's lingering, like kind of almost like chicory, medium plus to almost dark chocolate kind of bitterness coming in, a little bit of char, spices combined with that very nicely. The spice is wonderfully elegantly put in so that it comes in on the back end where it's like a little bit woodsy, a little bit herbal, plays into that kind of like almost like a bark note that hops can sometimes offer, and then has this like Christmassy tone to it, all around this kind of like warmish kind of chocolatey base beer that's like not too intense. Again, it's like definitely not stout, imperial stout, but like porter, but not like something like Founder's Porter where it's like so intense in malt and pine on the hops. It's sort of like a nice kind of porter, but at 7%. It's got this like hit of like cane sugar sweetness up front that really helps that kind of levity of the brighter spices. Yeah, that's drinkable, man. Man, that's got to be the most drinkable 7% beer that I've had in a while. It's just tasty. It's just tasty because you get like a good amount of malt character, but it keeps it interesting because the spices are there. It's not just a kind of like meh kind of porter at 5-6 or 5-6%. It's at 7, so you get the malt there, but then the elements of the top notes of the spices and the bottom notes of the spices really help push the beer. Something like hopping would do, but it's got a really wonderful kind of silky mouthfeel. Carbonation kind of moves in, but it's really nice and creamy on palate. It almost, another analogy, not only American porter, but also would be something like oatmeal stout, milk stout. Not quite sweet as milk stout, but oatmeal stout would be a good one too. Yeah, oatmeal stout or like an American porter with all those really hints of really pretty flavor in there, and has a really nice, as you wait, like a little bit of just charred edge to it that like keeps it burnt. So you're in that kind of like stout porter range. Oh, that's so tasty. I didn't know what to expect from this guy. I just picked it up. It's like, oh, it's Anchor's Christmas beer, whatever. Review the channel. It's accessible for people, but that is so tasty. I do not expect a single beer in the beers for the rest of the year in the Christmas realm to beat this guy. This beer is absolutely amazing. Screw it. Construction and elegance and complexity at 7% and drinkability at 7% cannot be beat. This is a solid 98. I didn't expect to give this score, but that's crazy. Until next time, guys, cheers. Later.